Man, it's bright on a New Year's Day, and we're going to be working on the Classic 350. Let me turn the camera around and get a little bit of a panning shot here. See, my shadow is long, it's late in the afternoon. Today, real quick, we're going to be installing that. So I'm not going to be really recording myself doing all the work, but I will stop at points and show you what I'm doing, because essentially it's not too bad of an install, but you do need to get into this headlight cask, mainly through the front. So what you're going to do is, sorry, I'm like in the way of the shadow. There's two screws, one at about 4 o'clock and one about 7 o'clock ish. And you pull those two screws out, you pull the headlight out, and you can get into the, to where this medallion is. There's also one other thing you want to pull on the Classic 350 to get this on effectively, and that is a little bolt right up here so that you can move this bracket to give yourself a little bit of room, because you're going to want to get up through here to get to a little screw to get that medallion off. Let's see how this goes. I'm not gonna lie, getting that little medallion out is a real pain in the ass. So let me show you kind of where the hole is, where the medallion was. So you see here, now we have a big gaping hole. You won't be able to see that there's a little smaller hole down underneath. You have to get a Torx bit up through that hole to get this little self-tapping screw out, and it's like neurosurgery because the space is so tiny. I had to use 2 extensions, and it took about 25 minutes just for me to get the bit to that sucker. Like, because there's so much stuff in the way, manipulating the end to be able to fit in there up through all of this stuff is wasn't fun. So anyway, it is what it is. Got it done. Next thing, let me put this screw down. Okay, so next thing is I need to feed this to my ignition, which I've actually already got part of the Powertronics fit into, so it's going to be like a bypass on a bypass. We'll see how that goes. And then this yellow wire and gets fed up into the cowl and then connects to the speedometer. If I'm not standing in the sun. Okay, so now we have this connected to our ignition. It's coming out into the cowl. We need to connect the rest of the speedometer. However, I'll grab one more part here. Oh, I already have it. Step over here so I'm not. So there's a ring. You notice it has a bevel, a chamfer, I guess, to the top of it. That goes over this wire onto the bottom of your tachometer. So let me do that real quick, and then we're going to put that into the cowl, and I'll come back.
All right, sorry folks, I had a little bit of a malfunction with the microphone, so I'm doing a voiceover for the rest of this. Here I'm just showing you that there is a plate that's attached to the bottom of the tachometer with 2 bolts there. There's a final plate that goes on to hold it in. It goes down through, and then the plate comes from the bottom to mount it. Here I'm showing you the little connection that goes between your accessory ports inside, or accessory port, excuse me, inside the headlight cowl. That does have it will leave you with an open port. You just cover the end part, and then that ends up connecting and giving power to your tachometer. And will also connect, there you can see the wiring harness from the actual tachometer, and it gets connected to the yellow wire from your ignition right there. So that all goes together. It's actually pretty simple at that point once you've got the tachometer in. Once you have it in, it doesn't start at the exact same time as your speedometer. You actually have to go to the on ignition position and start the bike, and then you'll see the tachometer light up and do its own sweep right here. Now the little red light that just turned to blue, that's your shift change light. And there's an LCD screen, very tiny, just to the right of it. I ended up setting that to show me my output of voltage right there. And then I set my shift change light right there to 6,000 RPM, which is pretty close to 12 o'clock. And I did set mine pretty high, but I do rev mine pretty high, not only jumping on the highway, like I rev pretty high when I'm before I change gears, when I'm getting up to speed, but also when I'm on the highway, I do tend to ride around 6,000 RPM anyway. Hopefully that'll go down with the 16-tooth sprocket. Oh, anyway, that's it for this install. Sorry I didn't get to show you much more and that there were a couple technical difficulties, but I hope you enjoyed it and help you make a decision whether or not you want to add one of these to your bike. Thanks for watching.